ever pondered the significance of secure communication in our digital world? In this age of interconnectivity, the flow of information is ceaseless. But imagine if this information fell into the wrong hands. The risks are real and pervasive. Identity theft could leave you battling to reclaim your life. Financial loss could see your hard-earned savings vanish in an instant. And data breaches? They could expose confidential corporate strategies, or worse, personal information of countless individuals. Secure communication is not just a concern for big corporations. It's a matter of personal security too. Every email sent, every transaction made, every web page visited. These are all potential gold mines of information if left unprotected. We're all participants in this digital world, and our personal data is at stake every time we engage online. Understanding the concept of public key infrastructure, or PKI, is crucial in grasping how secure communication works. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is public key infrastructure? Well, let's dive in and unravel this concept. Public key infrastructure, also known as PKI, is a system of digital certificates, certificate authorities, and other registration entities that verify and authenticate the validity of each party involved in an electronic transaction. It's like the glue that holds the realm of secure digital communication together, ensuring that the identities of all parties involved are genuine. Let's break it down further. The key components of PKI are the certificate authority, the registration authority, and end entities. Firstly, the certificate authority, often referred to as the CA, is like the trusted middleman in this process. The CA is responsible for issuing and verifying digital certificates. These digital certificates act as a kind of digital passport, providing proof of the holder's identity. Next, we have the registration authority, also known as the RA. The RA acts as the gatekeeper in the PKI system, authenticating certificate requests before they're issued by the CA. It's like the security guard at the gate, making sure only the right people get through. Lastly, we have the end entities. These can be individuals, servers, or even devices that are the users of these certificates. They're the ones who request and use the digital certificates issued by the CA to authenticate their identity and secure their electronic transactions. So when you send an encrypted email or make a secure online transaction, you're using PKI. It verifies that you are who you claim to be and that the person or entity you're communicating with is also legitimate. In a world where digital transactions are increasingly the norm, PKI plays a crucial role in maintaining trust, privacy, and security. It's like a digital handshake, confirming the identities of all parties involved and ensuring that the transaction is secure and authentic. So, in essence, PKI is a framework that ensures secure electronic transactions. How does this intricate system of public key infrastructure function, you may ask? Well, let's delve into the heart of the matter. At the core of public key infrastructure, or PKI, are two cryptographic keys: a public key, which is openly available, and a private key, which remains confidential to the entity it belongs to. These keys are mathematically linked, yet distinct. They work in unison to encrypt and decrypt data, ensuring secure communication. So how does this process work? Let's say Alice wants to send a secure message to Bob. She uses Bob's public key to encrypt the message. Now, this encrypted message can only be unlocked by Bob's private key, which only Bob possesses. So when Bob receives the message, he uses his private key to decrypt it. This way, even if someone intercepts the message in transit, they can't read it without Bob's private key. But how can Alice be sure that the public key she used really belongs to Bob? This is where digital certificates come into play. A digital certificate is like an electronic passport that binds a public key with a particular entity like Bob. It's a way of saying, this public key belongs to Bob. These certificates are issued and verified by a trusted authority known as the Certificate Authority, or CA. The CA checks the information about the entity, signs the certificate digitally to vouch for its authenticity, and then issues it to the entity. However, before a certificate is issued, the identity of the entity needs to be authenticated. This is where the Registration Authority, or RA, comes into the picture. The RA verifies the identities of entities before they are issued a certificate. In a nutshell, PKI is a system of trust. It's a framework that enables secure communication by ensuring that public keys belong to the correct entities. It provides the tools for encryption and decryption, and the procedures for verifying identities and issuing certificates. This process ensures that communication remains secure and that the identities of entities are authenticated. In summary, here are the key points about public key infrastructure. At its core, Public Key Infrastructure, or PKI, is a framework that manages, distributes, verifies, and revokes digital certificates. It plays a pivotal role in ensuring secure communication and data transfer in the digital world. One of the essential components of PKI is the Certificate Authority, or CA. The CA is like the gatekeeper of the digital world. It issues, renews, and revokes digital certificates. These digital certificates, much like your passport, serve as an identity proof for the end entities, which could be users, computers, or servers. Another crucial element is the Registration Authority, or RA. The RA acts as a liaison between the CA and the end entities. It verifies the identity of the end entities before they can receive their digital certificates from the CA. Public Key Infrastructure, as the name suggests, relies heavily on a pair of keys, the public key and the private key. The public key is for encryption and is openly shared, while the private key is for decryption and kept secret. When a message is sent, it's encrypted with the recipient's public key. Upon receiving the message, the recipient uses their private key to decrypt it. This ensures that even if the message is intercepted, it cannot be read without the private key. Digital certificates issued by the CA are like digital passports. They bind together the identity of the end entity with the public key. This way, when someone receives a digital certificate, they can trust that the public key truly belongs to the entity it claims to represent, ensuring secure communication. In the vast digital landscape, PKI is like the invisible thread that ties everything together, allowing us to trust in the security of our communications and transactions. It's a complex system, but its importance cannot be overstated, especially in an era where cyber threats are becoming increasingly sophisticated. And that, in a nutshell, is the complex yet fascinating world of public key infrastructure.